What is up? What is up? Somebody give me an audio check out there. Make sure everything's cool. Make sure it's all good. Jimmy Jones, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Hey, Samuel, Tab, Arizona, thanks for being in here. Gone Girl. All right, cool. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot going on today, guys. I haven't really been too much into what's going on, but I have seen quite a bit already. Hey, Christine, how you doing? Vanima Moonbeam up in here first. That's right. Rock Daniels, Tesha, G513, Kathy. Yeah, guys, we got quite a bit of stuff going on. We're just going to dive into it. Actually, we had a big filament just bust off the sun just a few hours ago. So I don't know if anybody else has reported on this yet. Maybe not. I don't know. That really doesn't matter, I guess. But I was just looking through some tools and stuff as I was setting up, and I actually seen it. So it was just, like I said, just a few hours ago. Also, we had some radars go down, for a few hours. It's like it went across the whole nation. It's like something happened in like a wave. And we'll talk about that too. Plus, the Schumann has some really weird spikes on it. So we'll talk about that too. So yeah, we got quite a bit to go on here. Yeah, as far as everybody asking about, how I'm doing today, I did not make it to the doctor today, just so you know. I'm making sure my wife is fine first. She had surgery last week, and I'm making sure that in case I do get put in a hospital, I want to make sure she's okay before I end up doing that. So, that is what we will, that's what I'm talking about there. And, yeah. Hey, Christine, just to let you know, I haven't forgot about you in that video. I had to go back and redo some things on it because I thought I had it in a specific ratio, and I didn't. So I had to redo some of that stuff before I sent it over to you. But, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to just go ahead and get into it, guys. Mods, you're the bomb. Keep that chat under control for me, man. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's do this. Schumann first. Now, I'm going to back off that for a second. Now, you can see how back here, not a whole lot happening. And we seen this at the end of the day yesterday. I think I even showed it to you guys, maybe even about this far. But no sooner I, logged off my video, we had this start happening. If we only had one of those, whatever. But what's really strange is the duration and the quantity of what's happening here. These are like pulses. Okay? They're not a typical spike and go away. It's like somebody's got their finger on a button just pulsing. Boop, 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 that's kind of what it looks like. Now, whatever that is, I can't tell you what that is, but what I can do is show you what is possible, what's causing that. What can that do to us? That's probably the next question that people will ask me. What that can do to us is it can make us extremely moody. If you felt like your mood was just all over the place today, this could be why. Not necessarily, but this could be why. Think of it like this, if you've got the correct amount of frequency, right, the correct level, you're okay, right? And then, bam, it's for whatever reason, it spikes way out of control, and that's going to affect you for however long that's there. And then it goes back to normal. And then again. Okay? It's like pushing somebody's annoy button. And that's kind of way I explain it. But that is something we haven't seen in quite some time. So what's causing the pulses? Is it coming from our planet, or is it coming from outer space? That's the next question. I do know, we need to throw in there the possibility of, the particle colliders, like CERN. Okay? There's multiple ones like that around the planet. So if those things are active and they're doing their thing, possibly could change the vibration here. But we also have to consider stuff out by the sun from space. So if we go up here and we look at the X-ray flux, this thing has been all over the place. I can't go down to the hour and specifically tell you, hey, that directly correlates with the Schumann spike. I can't do that because I don't have that kind of detail here in what we're looking at. We got 3-hour blocks right here, and but I can tell you that about the time that this thing started jacking up is about the time that we seen that. Okay, because it started way back here. So if we go over here, you see what I'm getting at, guys? So we had all this weird looking stuff going on. It was a base increase, basically. We got more sunspots facing the Earth right now, or more active areas anyway. So we would expect to see something like that. But to correlate it back to the Schumann, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Actually, I'm gonna step in here to the chat real quick because I want to know your guys' opinion on that. What do you guys think about that? Hey, Hilly, how you doing, bud? Mark, Christine. Also, guys, anybody that's my mods, I am setting up I'm gonna set up a Facebook group just for us. I may try to get everybody in on a Zoom call. Hey, E-Rock, thanks for being here. Get everybody on a Zoom call, and just so we can have some communication. That way, if there's any issues or just to talk about stuff that's going on or whatever, be a good way to share information. In the background, maybe like I said, I would love to get us to the place where we can actually do a little bit of research and stuff. If we need help with each other or whatever, we can throw each other some links, articles, that kind of stuff. Maybe we can get a little bit better at that, and it'd help me and it'd help the whole community. So, but yeah, I will be. If you guys could email me, okay, at my email bluecool52@gmail. That way I can send everybody a link to the group, because it's going to be a private group. It's not going to be for all that. So, and again, I may just do a Zoom call first, and we'll talk about what platform we want to use to be able to come together in. Okay, it doesn't have to be Facebook; it could be anything. So, if the mods that are listening to me, please do that and pass it on to the other mods if you have communication with them, please. I would love to know that. But back to the Schumann, guys. What do you guys think about that? You guys got any ideas? Is it? You don't have to be on Zoom, Christine. I can just send you a link. Anybody can. For people that don't know about Zoom, you can just send them a link, and it'll bring you right in. You don't have to actually have the Zoom program. So, just so you know. Earthquake swarm in Switzerland, huh? Can't count that out. Massive power lines. Yeah. Dutch has been talking about power lines too, guys. Yeah. I'm with you there, Sean. I think, but I do think that sometimes we can pinpoint this down to kind of a specific thing that causes these spikes every once in a while. But yeah, Dutch was talking about he went yesterday through his video, guys. I would encourage you guys to go check it out, because the earthquakes were actually the center. Hey, CW, good to see you. The earthquakes were actually right underneath our high tension power lines. The epicenters were. It was crazy. It was following it. It's like, where does your mind go with that? You know where my mind goes? Hey, Cocock, is that what this is? Telegram. There you go. How about that? That's awesome. So yeah, Taylor, what's up? Why are there so many fires all of a sudden? See, guys, this is what we're talking about. God's Israel. Hey, yeah, it's just there's so many things that happen all at once, and I think they do this on purpose. And I don't, when I say the word they, I'm not pinpointing any one group or any one group of people. It's just the powers that be. That's what I'm talking about. You know, but I also understand that there's natural things that happen too. So we have to keep that in mind. We have to try to find a balance. That's okay, Hillbilly. That's no big deal, man. We're good. I'm gonna probably try to do it sometime this week and try to get everybody together. But yeah. So with the power line thing, guys, you know where my mind goes? My mind goes to the cell towers. Because, you know, if they can do that, what would be the best cover? Wouldn't it be around the big high tension power lines that are already existing instead of throwing up a brand new 5G tower? So yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. A bad set of instruments? Yeah. Well, maybe you can just tell me what you mean by that, so I ain't got to go back and read that right now. If we're looking at bad instruments, you know, I don't know exactly what you're saying there, but if we are, we are. We'll have to see what we can do about that. Yeah, hit the like button, everybody. Yeah, you know, like I said, guys, when we see these things happening all at once, and it's not just on one thing, it's all over the place, we have to actually look and see what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, I can pretty much tell you that ain't gonna happen, Ruth. Yeah. Anyway. So we got that kind of doing something crazy. We got this kind of crazy. And then let's again, I don't know what's causing this. We are seeing some sunspots and things. But you know, that is what it is. Geomagnetic activity. We got the that solar storm that was supposed to arrive. I don't think it ever did. If it did, it did not get here in the way that they thought it was going to from that coronal hole. That coronal hole was supposed to send us a pretty fast stream of wind, and it did. It just didn't affect us geomagnetically like they thought it was going to. It could have been oh, I ain't got no proof. I'm just saying, this makes you think. That's exactly what I said. I wasn't trying to do anything like that. Yeah. I don't spout things anyway. Sometimes I give my opinion, and that's about what it is. So, but yeah. Anyway. Thanks, Christine. Appreciate that. So we got the rest of space weather here. We got 555. Excuse me. Man. Yeah, the solar wind did get here. That's not what I said. I said we did get a fast stream of solar wind. I just said we didn't get into the geomagnetic storm levels that they thought we were going to. That's what I said. So anyway, we got the sun doing its thing still. You know, we got a filament here right in the middle that busted off. And I'll show that to you guys here in just a few minutes. We got all of these wind, and this is from that solar wind stream. Okay. Okay. All right. If you say we did, we did. I'm not going to argue with you. That's fine. I mean, usually when we look at it, it's here. So, that is what it is, you know. But, we did, I can tell you the conditions did, you know, pump up there pretty good. And, you know, we got a temperature rise here. And we got solar wind stream rise. It's going all up and down like it, like a typical wind stream would. Okay. That's fine. I mean, seriously, you can guys go check it out. I would encourage you to. So yeah. And you got the density increase, you got the phi angle, and the BZ doing its thing too. So everything was reacting, and it was from that solar wind stream. So that's, that's what I would say to that. Oh man. Whew. Excuse me. Anyway, yeah. So we got the Enlil model here, and it is doing its thing. It's going up and down, doing all that mess, right? We're right here in time, so, whatever we're getting from that solar storm is what we got. So that is what it is. And then it's going to kind of come down. That's what it's saying it's going to do. That this is just solar wind. That's it. And then you got this for density. It doesn't look like it's bumping up very much. So, yeah. So that's what's going on with that. But then we got, let's go over here. We'll look at the aurora real quick. The aurora forecast. It definitely is doing its thing. This is what we would expect to see if we had a fast solar wind stream, which we did. And so if we go into that, go over there. So you guys can look at the timestamp as I'm moving this back and forth. This would be where we're at right now. And this would be back in history what it did. Okay? So, yeah. But I'm not sure if anybody lives. Somebody said they were living in Switzerland. I wonder if said you had earthquake swarms over there. I wonder if you guys had any. You guys see any auroras at all? Just curious. Just curious. Let me know in there in the chat if you did. That'd be really cool to see if we did that. That would be awesome, by the way. I mean, that would be completely cool. Did that. That would be awesome, by the way. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. Didn't mean to give you guys a little echo there. Hey, Della, Chris, everybody else that's in there. Menacing, what's up? What's up? Wolf. Wolfie's in there. All right, cool. Okay. So, let's get on to this. Let's, I'll go over here. Sun looks like a monk. That's pretty funny. I'll show you guys real quick the filament that did bust off. It does look like it's going to come right at us, And again, we'll have to wait on some more data to be, extremely conclusive about which direction it's heading. But this just happened a few hours ago. So let me zoom in here. Push play. It happens right here, right in the middle. You see that it released there? Now, I know it doesn't look that impressive right there, and that's because we're looking directly at it. And the sun's the background, not the background of space. So what we'll do is we'll look over here on the 304. It shows filaments a little bit better than what the 171 does. I think that thing, I must have paused it. There we go. It's right here. Here's the filament. Okay? But watch what it does. Okay? So, you know, that looks like it busted off there. So if it did come off of there, it does look like it could be coming at us. So, I mean, it's right in front of us. I guess it could go north or south of us, but we'll have to wait and see. And just see how that goes, you know. But other than that, it is what it is, you know. Oh, man. I tell you what, man. Wow. I'm just not feeling it, guys. I'm just still not feeling good. So, sorry I'm a little off. Oh, goodness. I know I'm moving kind of slow, guys. I do apologize for that. Let's pause that. Go over here. We'll check it out on the 211 one too if you guys want to see it there. There it went. Like I said, that I'm not sure exactly how strong that's going to be. It does look to be big. It looks like a fairly sizable filament that released. You know, so we're just gonna have to wait and see what the data does bring us. But it erupted enough that it looked like it disturbed the surface and the corona enough that it opened up quite a bit when it exploded. You know, at least there for a second. It may close right back up. Probably will. Normally does. But just that movement and stuff kind of moves things out of the way for a second. But, you know, my opinion, that's what's going on there. So, again, that, you know, the Earth does kind of sit down here, but that could go north-south. It could even go east or west of us, guys. You know, with it being right in front of us, it would have a lot better chance of coming right at us and hitting us. So, anyway. Let's go. Let's see here. Change the ratio here. Yeah, I haven't looked at these models yet. I just reset them and let them go. I don't so much trust these like I used to. These are, I've seen a lot of things happen on these things that didn't show up on the other model. And the newer models I tend to look at a little bit more on these now. You know, we can still look at these for, like, I don't know, just see if it's any different than what we normally see. But to, like, get really, really, really specific on stuff on here anymore, I don't know that they're that trustworthy. That's all. I don't know. It's just my observations that I've made throughout, you know, the time I've been doing my channel. I do try to, you know, pay attention to what's going on and what's happening here. And, you know, I do remember what things looked like before, so I can kind of compare that in my mind. But, you know, seeing big stuff happen on this, typically when it happens on this, it's when we're getting solar wind or got a CME hitting us. And things would naturally be all jacked up when that happens. Okay? That would be exactly what we would expect to see, is a whole bunch of chaos if we got smacked real good with the CME or a solar flare or whatever. It would jack our magnetics up for a minute. The only time that, you know, that we could point to something different is when we don't see those things and then our magnetics jack up. That's when we should, you know, be like, well, where'd that come from? You know, that kind of a thing. And we've had stuff come from other, you know, other directions and stuff like that. Not very often, but it does happen. You know, we get cosmic rays from outside our solar system all the time. Our sun's supposed to protect us from that, and, well, it does a pretty good job of it. But, you know, sometimes they get through. That's just what happens. Especially when we're in a, you know, a weaker period or a solar minimum. You know, we're coming out of the minimum, and let me emphasize, this was not a grand solar minimum. It just wasn't. You know, there was a lot of speculation. There was a lot of, hey, this is going to happen, this, that, and the other. But there's just so many things that would have needed to happen to consider it something like that. And let me tell you something. If we go into a grand solar minimum, you're not going to have to question whether or not we did or not. You're going to know it. And that's the biggest thing for me. And obviously, you know, I don't hear anybody out there saying that we did, but there were a lot of people saying that we were going to. And that's the thing. You know, that's why you don't hear me speak in definitives too much here. You know, whether my opinion was to go into that or not, you know, I said, hey, we might be going into that. That's what I said. But at the same time, you know, you had other people out there screaming the end of the world. But that's what I'm trying to say. You know, you're not going to hear that end of the world crap right here on my channel. I'm not going to speak that stuff. That just won't happen. I don't do that. And I don't think, number one, even if it was going to happen, I don't think it would be a very constructive way to put that kind of information out there. So, yeah. So, anyway, we can, like I said, we can still look at these. And, you know, this model here in particular, you do get kind of an idea of what's happening right around our planet. But, you know, the other ones, and again, like I said, when it doesn't look normal, that's when we look anyway. But when I look at it and it's not looking normal and we just got high solar wind or a CME or something just hit us, it makes perfect sense for our magnetics to be messed up a little bit, or a lot, depending on how hard we got hit. And we can't forget that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And these models right here are old. They are pretty old. So what I'll do, saying that, I'll take you to the new ones. How about that? The sun's off to the left. Now I do think I think they get their data from the same source, but the model's set up different. That's the difference. Okay. And I'm not sure if it takes in consideration any kind of different parameters. I would assume that it does. These things tend to give us a better view of what's actually happening. You know, so we can see that we got solar wind coming from the left to the right. The thing's bouncing around. I mean, it's just what happens. And we get, you know, up here it's telling us we're pushing 600 kilometers per second. All that. Yeah, guys, I used to, you know, back here on like this, I didn't even know when I first started my channel that this stuff even existed. And I don't think this one did. I think it came in right after I started my channel. And as I kept watching these things and looking at them, I'm not, like I said, I'm not like discounting these things completely at all. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that we can still get some value out of this, but as far as trying to pinpoint stuff I just think this one here is more accurate. It gives us a much better picture of what's going on, I think. But again, this is my opinion. Okay, so there's the pressure and all that mess. It does look like we got quite a bit of pressure, but, you know, I don't think it's too much. You know, it is a little elevated, but again, we're having solar wind. I mean, that's just an uptick in solar wind. In my opinion, that's what we should be expecting. And that's, you know, we look at the density here. We can play that model there. You're going to see the same kind of thing. These three typically will mirror themselves. You know, when one's reacting, the other ones probably are going to also. That's kind of what I'm saying. So, yeah. Let's just excel that. Now, we'll go over here to the Australian model. Shout out to my Aussies. You know, this is what you got over here. Now, you're going to see this bouncing around quite a bit. Again, it's to be expected. Okay? Let me restart that on the 26th. You know, when we're expecting solar weather, guys, this is what we expect to see. And I want people to understand that. It doesn't have to be gloom and doom all the time. It doesn't, everything we talk about and do and show does not have to be end of the world type of stuff. And that's kind of where I'm at, I don't want to sit here and do any of that. I fell into that fairly early on in my channel, and I, had to reel back in. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to reel back in a little bit, just to be honest. Some of the stuff that, like these models here. I'm not saying that those things are not useful, because they are. It's just I think we now have, other tools that we can look at that could be a little bit more accurate. I don't want to go into, I used to think when I seen something on these things that it was an extremely big deal. But when we have an explanation for it, like solar wind, CMEs, that kind of thing, again, Occam's razor. That's the most logical thing that we can point to, and it's most likely what's causing it. Now, I'm not saying that there ain't other stuff out there, guys. You know that. I'm just saying that this here can be caused by a whole lot of different things. And the majority of the time, it's being caused by high solar wind. Just my opinion. So here's the geoelectric field model. This is our space weather's effect basically on unnatural electric sources or components. Our electrical grid, pretty much. Power lines, stuff like that. Transformers. So, yeah. So if you look at that, yeah, that's what you're going to see. And you can see us get some decent hits there. And, yeah. So, again, what's causing it? Well, solar wind, guys. I mean, that's pretty much going to be the answer to most everything right now, because that's exactly what we're experiencing. Power outages. I thought this was kind of interesting. California went right back up. I'm imagining because of those fires firing back up out there. I think the ones here in Oklahoma is from storms that happened. So, nothing like space weather here, but there are outages. And this is pretty, these are a significant amount. You would probably be able to go look at one of the maps where the fires are, and you could probably see it. It would directly correlate with it. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. Okay, so what we're looking at here, guys, we are looking at a composite radar nationally over at DuPage, College of DuPage. What I wanted to show you here is this. Let me go back here. Now, all these little circles, when I first started looking at this, I didn't know what that was, but those are the radar sites, okay? What you're seeing there basically is what we would consider ground clutter. It's just a signature that the radar's put off. They don't put it off, but they receive. That's how they're interpreting it, when they get certain conditions. And, most people know what ground clutter is, but I just wanted to, put that out there like that. So this is, if you go where all these are, these are really where the radar sites that this tool is using. So if you go through the nation here, you can see it, right? So when I go forward, I mean, see, people are going to freak out about that. Don't. It's just, that's probably the edge of the range of what we're seeing at this particular site. Okay? You could probably find it on all of these, right? But watch what happens. Okay? Did you see that little, like that? So, when you see that blink like that, right? So let me go through that a little bit slower. Okay, it's starting right there. Now I want you guys to watch how these things will just like slowly click off. You guys see that? Now they come right back on. And what makes me think that this wasn't like a tool flaw is because there was a couple of them that stayed. Okay? They didn't all just go away. There was a couple of them that stayed doing its thing. Okay? That's as low as it gets right there. And you can see we still got a couple stations still working. Okay? But then it comes back. And it comes back not all at once, but it comes back like that. So, you know, I don't think that was a tool issue. I don't know what happened there. It could have been, you know, from coronal hole, whatever, you know, solar wind, all that. There you go. So, yeah. I just thought that was interesting. I didn't know if you guys would, yeah, blick them. That's cool. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's a good, that's a good thought, Justin. I mean, possibly. Possibly. You know? So, yeah. You can see, like I said, you can see where it clicks off. I just thought, I've never, you know, like I said, I don't look at this tool very often, or I haven't looked at it often enough to know what I'm actually, you know, I can't go down to the specifics, but I can tell you when something looks odd or off, and that's kind of what I'm showing you here. So, yeah. Earthquakes. I know that this is a big subject, always is. You know, right now, I'm looking at this, and I don't see anything too crazy. At least in my opinion. We could click through here and look at the ones where they've got them. You know, you got California. Obviously, that's always a source of conversation. You know, and what we're seeing here, guys, we see earthquakes here all the time. It's just that simple, you know. The places we're seeing them, I really don't see anything like completely out of place. We were talking about somebody who put that in the comment section about Switzerland. Somebody put in the comment section about Switzerland about having a swarm of quakes in there. Hey Ricky, how you doing? We go to 1 day all magnitude, see if we can't see it there. That's on a fault line, but man, that's in France. Wow. Okay. Where's that one? That's Tajikistan. That's Russia. So, yeah. Hey, Dello, what's up? Yeah, Luna, I did. I checked out Dutch yesterday. And that's, you know, what he was talking about was talking about the high tension power lines. How the earthquakes were following it. And that's what he said. I guess I'm not allowed to say it. I don't know. Oh, goodness. Yeah, is what it is. Wow. So, yeah. We got some up here activity going on there. And again, guys, I'm sorry I'm a little off today. I simply just don't feel good. You got this going on too. We can go back to the page and see if there's any hot spots there, if the clouds aren't there. We can change this to shortwave IR. Now, I think Dutch was saying something about there was like a really like intensification of that in California today, the way I understood it. So yeah, let me do this. Let's go out west and see if we can't see something. Yeah, see that was like there's a couple big ones for sure, and that's what I would think that we would see, you know. Yeah. Yeah, Ricky, did you see that the Dutch's video yesterday? I'm pretty sure you probably did. Yeah, and it could be. That's what I said, you know. That's just Dutch had kind of like pointed that together, and you know he was kind of following it down the line there. And again, I don't know exactly what could cause all that stuff. That's just something he had pointed out at it, and like I said, the first thing that came to my mind was like, I don't know, like the cell towers and stuff like that. And it's just a thought I had. There's no way I could prove any of that. So, I know, Deborah. I know. What are we going to do when the grid goes down? That's a good question. Hopefully it doesn't. You know? Hopefully it does not. Excuse me. Yeah. You're right, Ricky. There's not many people have underground lines. That's you know, it's a lot bigger deal trying to do that than it is to put overhead power lines. It's a little bit crazy. You guys buffering? Is everybody buffering? If you are, I can do this. Hold on. We'll get some of those shut down. Maybe that'll help if anybody's getting buffering. But yeah, you know, that's a big question. Somebody's, you know, what do we do if the power goes out? The grid goes down? Well, we do what we do. And it's really that simple. Everybody's going to react different, is what I'm saying. And, you know, if you're asking what we can do about that, well, we can't stop it. That's something that we can't do. That would be up to our government and stuff to be able to get the infrastructure to a place to where it wouldn't be affected by, you know, stuff like that. But even at that, who knows, you know? But as far as what we can do for ourselves in our own little immediate area, you know, I would suggest you guys go to some of the prepper sites. That's just my opinion. If you really want to get that deep into it, you can. And, you know, I visited a few of them myself, and you know, I'm prepared to a certain level. For, you know, I got kids. I'm not going to ignore it. That's 100% the reason I did what I did. You know, I got kids. That's what we got to do, right, guys? I mean, ain't that what we do? So yeah. That jumped time right there, didn't it? Yep. You guys see that? I missed 7 hours of time. Huh. That's kind of odd. Happens, though. Happens, that's for sure. So, yeah, guys, I mean, we got, like I said, we had that. You know what I'll do? Let me go over here, and we'll check out SDO real quick. Let me bring that back. Again, guys, this is SDO. This is another place you can go look at the sun from with time lapse, but you can go back quite a bit on this one, and fairly quickly. It does a pretty good job, I think. So if we do that, we go to 24, type in the 26 there, We'll look at it on, well, let's yeah, let's keep the 304 there for a minute. Hit submit, and here it comes. You know, it's really that simple. We see a little bit of a filament there too, if you guys remember. I talked about that yesterday. I couldn't tell if it released or if it actually went back. I don't think it released out from what I'm seeing. Well, I do need to show you guys seeds. Hold on a minute, and I'll show you guys that here in a minute, because it is showing some stuff. But watch here on the end. I would expect to see this filament here. Yep, see it? Man, that was right at the end of that too, wasn't it? Watch it. See that? So depending on where exactly that exploded off at, you know, it is Earth facing and it is right in line, but it doesn't mean that that material actually is coming right at us, okay? Most likely we'll probably at least catch a glancing blow of some sort. That's been my observation, you know, watching these things. But again, I cannot give you 100% on any of that until we see some more data and some more imagery, just to see what direction it's going, all that kind of thing. I'm going to take you guys over to seeds too before I get off of here. We'll start back here on the 25th. Again, that was the day after the other filament release. Okay, you can still see how stuff's still escaping on out. You've seen a little jet down here, which is not that big of a deal. And again, you can even see how we're still in that orange meteor shower. Okay, you see all the sparkle looking stuff. That's what that is. We're going through a section of space that's you know, it's kind of cluttered up a little bit from Halley's Comet's tail that came through years and years ago. So that's what that is. So if we go to 26 to today, you're going to see some stuff happen over here too. See? So, I don't know that this thing caught. I don't think it's showing you that filament release. Let's see what time it stops. Yeah, it stopped at 1600. I don't think we're going to see the filament release. This is stuff that happened before. Okay? Let me go look at that real quick, though. See what time that did happen before I say that. Yeah, that didn't happen until... That filament didn't release until... Yeah. So there's no way that what I just showed you there on seeds is that filament release. That's the other one. Okay, there's some action going on over here, but I don't think this stuff is coming at us. You can see kind of like this part, and I'm going to take you to stereo A and show it to you there. Okay, you can see the start of it. First off, what we've seen here on stereo A was a massive jump in time. You got 824, and it goes, you know, you don't really see a whole lot. We see some brightness, but that's it. And we go to the next frame, and it's all the way to 1524. So again, we're missing like 7 hours there. But you can clearly see that now we have an ejection of some sort. And remember, stereo A is over here, well, right here. And Earth would be probably about right here. Because stereo A is closer to the Earth now than what it used to be. Okay? I'm not sure if it was ever quite 90 degrees. I don't really know. It's always been, ever since I've been watching these, it's been a little bit closer to Earth than 90 degrees. So if it was 90 degrees, you know, it would be here and Earth would go straight over and it would be over here. But it's not. It's kind of here. That's where Earth would be. Okay? So we have to keep that in mind because we have to understand the perspective of what the satellite's looking at. So we know direction. But you can see that. You can see it over here too. And again, this is highly pixelated. This imaging sucks, in my opinion. But you can see how we get a little bit extra as we keep going here. And it picks up some crazy looking anomaly over there. I'm not even sweating that. But check this out. You're going to see it get real bright over here. I think it's in the last frame. You see a little bit happening there, but look. Okay. So that's another CME of some sort popping off the sun. Now, what you're looking at there, remember, that's at 1824. That is not that filament release. For a couple reasons. That's a little bit further south than on the sun than what we've seen. I don't think that filament could even possibly get, even if it did like whip around that direction, I don't think it could get that far in that amount of time. Again, my opinion. So yeah, let me start this again. You guys can watch it. I just don't, when it misses time, I hate like showing all that. So I'll pause that and I'm gonna back up to that. Now, if you guys look at this, it's almost like it's like got waves. So I'm gonna just put it back in motion and watch what it does. See how it's almost like wave action? And, we've seen that multiple times, okay? It's not something new, but it is kind of strange to look at. So I don't know exactly what we're looking at there, but with that over here popping up in the last image, it's sad that we don't have the other image. I hate that. Because we got, we're missing, 6 hours here? It's kind of crazy. Yeah, where there's smoke, there's a CME. Good one, Rob. Frequency. Yeah, Frequency, you make a great point there, just so you guys know. She's, in case you guys aren't reading the chat right now, she's saying that, we're talking about missing data a lot lately. And we are. And, I talked about that a little bit in my prior videos here the past week or two. We're seeing a lot of data. And it seems to be missing in time frames where we really need to be looking. So, what kind of conclusion are we supposed to draw there? I just don't know. But what I will say, I have a very strong suspicion and a strong feeling that's at least some of that's being done on purpose. Like if we got missing data and then, it comes back online and we don't see anything, like something that could have caused it, I don't know. I don't know what to say there because I wish we had better answers on that end of it. But frankly, even if we could come to some kind of answer, could we prove it? You know what I mean? Hey, Sparky, what's up, bud? He'd be a good one to ask, guys. Sparky, did you watch Dutch's video yesterday? If you did, what's your opinion on what he said about the quakes and stuff seem to be happening underneath these power lines or something like that? I didn't even watch it that much in detail. I just kind of listened to a little bit of his premiere. Oh, really, Ricky? That's crazy. Wow. I never did get your full opinion there either, Ricky. I mean, what do you think about that? I'm just curious, guys. I don't really have an opinion on it, really, because I don't know enough about that to have an opinion. The grid's putting excess solar energy into the crust. That's interesting. I don't know, guys. I mean, that's just something that... Sound check? What's up, Sig? Yeah, that's one thing I was thinking about too, Rip. You know, the lines have been there for a long time. And, you know, I don't know what kind of whatever was the theory there itself was. I think he was just putting together a couple things. And I think he was just throwing his thoughts out there. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole video, so I don't know. I don't really have, like I said, I'm not the earthquake guy anyway, so... That is what it is, you know. How's the chat doing in there, by the way, guys? Is people getting crazy on me today or not? I know I had something happened early on in the stream in the chat right before I put it away. You guys doing okay in there? Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, Ricky. That's just, you know. Okay, cool. Alright, just making sure everybody's okay in there. I don't want somebody getting attacked. They can, guys, listen. I'm serious about this too. They can attack me all they want. Alright? They can, just leave that there. If you could. You know, as long as it's not vulgar or whatever. They can smack me across the face all they want. You know, that's just how it is what it is. You know, unless like I said, unless it's vulgar or it's gonna attacking somebody else. I don't, you know, like I said, I'm the one out here putting it on out here on the internet. So, you know, if they want to scrutinize what I got to say and that kind of thing, that's cool. But you know, like I said. You know, I'll defend myself in a way that I try to. You know, I'm not going to sit here and just let it happen. I'm going to, if somebody attacks me, I'll address it or whatever. As long as it's cordial, as long as it's not vulgar. That's just what it is. I know we had early on there was a guy or somebody in here named Taylor, I think, early on. That was saying I spouted something off or something like that. Did he keep going with it? I don't know if he did or not. Yeah. Thanks, R-Truth. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, guys, just in case you guys don't know, Ricky is very, very knowledgeable about seismic activity, okay? You know, and I've said that before. You know, I give her a lot of credit. She's taught me a lot already. You know, now I'm not comfortable enough coming out here trying to do it, you know, say the knowledge she's got, by no means. But I do look at it. And you know, and listen to this too, guys. Just once, I'm gonna step off the side here for a minute, okay? Matter of fact, let's just do this. Let's get this back out for a minute, because, listen, I understand people are gonna attack me, okay? I would be, you know, mentioning something, saying something that wasn't, I don't know. I know I'm getting attacked. I know it's going to happen. I would be sitting here saying, hey, listen, this, that, and the other. But I would be lying to you if I said it didn't affect me a little bit. It does, just like it would affect anybody. But the difference is how I handle it. And I handle it in such a way because I don't, number one, I want people to hear, or at least my opinion. And I get it. If they're breaking terms of service and they're all kinds of like vulgarity and stuff like that, yes, I mean, that can't be there. If they attack anybody else but me, I don't care if it's a channel I don't like, I don't care if it's somebody or whatever, but if they attack anybody else but me, yes, that's a no-go. They got to go. But if they want to come at me, you know, let them. That's the way I look at it. So hopefully you guys understand that. I mean, I don't want you guys to have to you know, put up with a bunch of stuff in there. But yeah, that is what, and again, that's going to be one of the reasons why I'm going to set up a Facebook group or whatever, some sort of group where we can talk. And again, I don't want, you know, there's a line of being offensive, and then there's a line of just blatantly personally attacking somebody. Okay, there's a line there, and it's hard to find. So, you know, when I'm going to back my moderators, just so everybody knows that. You know, if they made a decision to do whatever, and, you know, after they look at it when we get offline or whatever, if they come to me and saying, hey, you know, maybe we should pop him back in there or her back in there, let him come back in, that kind of thing, you know, that's perfectly fine. But I don't want people to feel like they can't give their, you know, an opinion in a respectful way. And the reason I'm like that is because, you know, I was raised as a Christian and stuff, and you can't ever get to anybody unless you say what you got to say. And the people that need to hear us the most likely, are those people that are going to attack us the most. But that's just me. You know what I mean? So, that is what it is, you know. I don't want any of that, you know. But, again, is what it is. Okay. I got you, Hillbilly. Yeah, I see that. It's okay. You know, I don't, like I said, guys, I would like to be able to sit here and say it's going to be a perfect world and we're all going to get along, but I promise you that's not going to happen. There's always going to be somebody, you know, and I think that all of us here, if it's said in a respectful way, nobody's ever going to have a problem with it. You know? And again, a lot of the stuff we talk about is very polarizing. People get really passionate about it, really upset. But we have to try to figure out a line there, what's too far. You know? And, you know, breaking terms of service is most definitely something that needs to be, you know, bam. They need to be out of there right away. But people can't have to understand that, you know, at the end of the day, this is my channel. And if I have a couple of little extra rules I want to throw into the chat, I will. And like I said, guys, you guys can go to any other channel, and I promise you, you will not get this much openness. You're not going to be able to go to, you know, the guys that are attacking me or whatever, or anybody else. You're not going to be able to go to these other channels and say half the stuff that you say here and get away with it. You know, I'm trying my best to make sure that everybody is able to have their, you know, their say. But I'm not going to, you know, it's my right as a channel creator. And this is what I say to people who say, well, this, that, and the other, you know, you should do this, you should do that. Well, 99% of the people that say that to me, they don't have a channel. So what they should do is go start their own channel and put their opinions out there to be scrutinized and looked at. And then come back and talk to me. It's that simple. You know? You know, like I said, I don't know what else to do there. I wish there was a overall just blanket statement I could say that could cover all of it. And, you know, I do my best that I can. You know, I'm sorry that some of those people can't see that. But that's okay. That's why I have, you know, that's why I have the moderators that I do have. And the people that are moderating for me, I think I can think of one or two that haven't been with me since the beginning almost. That's it. So it's not like I just threw a bunch of people out there for no reason. Yeah, you're right, Cheryl. I do. I got the best mods on the whole internet, in my opinion. It just is what it is, you know. And it's unfortunate that somebody feels like they have to attack. I don't understand it. And you know, that's just what it is. And again, people are gonna say and do whatever they want to say and do. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. Yeah, again, guys, please. If they're not attacking me, I mean, if they're attacking somebody else, if they're attacking me, cool, leave them there, please, 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 please. That's how you know what I'm saying. I get it. I get that some of it looks really, really crazy and all that, but at the end of the day, if they're wrong about their opinion, it's going to come out. Is what I'm trying to say. I leave the stuff there. I do all that. So, I want everybody to be able to come here and at least have a good place to where we can have good, cordial discourse. Now, if it's getting off the rails, I get it. That's what happens. That's why the mods are there, and I do trust them. You know, and let me say this too. I would also be crazy to think that I have, 20, 30 mods on my channel. Do you think that all of us are going to agree all the time? Think about that for a second, guys. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? We're going to agree on almost everything, but there's going to be those few little times that this happened. Are we going to get mad and run off? No, we're not. Because we're adults and we're friends at some level. And we can't accept people for not having the same opinion. We're not going to go at each other, you know. We might be able to say, hey, this is this, this is that, but, you know. Yeah, I mean, you said it right there. I mean, guys, it is my channel, I guess. You know, I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on there, guys. Yeah, I don't know. You know, like I said, the best way to, you know, to handle that kind of stuff is to, if you think if something's wrong, and, you know, and you, in other words, if you come in here and something happens, just ask politely what's going on. I mean, you don't have to be all crazy, you know. Oh man, excuse me. But yeah, so yeah, you're right. I mean, I think all of you guys will. You know what I mean? I get it, and that's the whole thing. I love all my subscribers too, and that's what I'm saying. You know, I want you guys to be able to say what you have to say. And it is, and again, like I said, it would be completely foolish of me to sit here and say we're all going to agree on everything all the time. That's just not going to happen. Think about your own family. You know what I mean? Sometimes things happen in your own family that it ends up being way worse than what it is with other people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. That's okay. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. again, guys, I don't know what to do in situations like that. It's a hard thing to try to decipher through. You know, that is what it is. You know, that's right, Starfire. There's a difference between hate and not. Hate and you know, disagreement are two different things. No. So yeah, that is what it is, guys. I don't know what to say or do when stuff like that happens. I just want people to have, you know, when I started this channel and everything, I want people to, when I started doing all this, I want people to come and have, you know, good conversation. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, guys. You know, people can do, and they're going to do whatever they want to do, and that's fine. It really is. It's okay. I just, you know, I don't feel like I've ever disrespected anybody here. I've tried my best just to step out of that, and try to stay off of all that kind of stuff. You know? Okay. Yeah, he said I was a fake Christian, just so you guys know. That's okay. He can have that opinion. You know, I'm not gonna. I won't even, you know, ask that. I won't even, you know, go at that, because everybody has their own points that they can make, and the thing of it, guys, I could go out here and start talking about my religious beliefs, but I've said this before. My channel's about space weather. You know? I don't know why you want my religious beliefs. That's kind of what I'm saying. Oh, he's talking about you, Hilly? Okay. Well, yeah. So yeah, guys, again, I'm sorry that happened in the chat tonight. I really am. I don't want people to do that, you know. I don't want people to have to deal with any of that. So, I don't know, guys. Yeah, frequency. Yeah, that was a rumor last night. I don't think it's true. You know, I don't think it's true. I haven't seen, because that was posted in over on Mark's channel last night, and you know, we tried to get a link from the person that posted it, and they refused, or didn't give us a link after multiple times of asking. So I don't know if that was just some sort of internet whatever going on there, or if it was something different or something else. But yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Excuse me, sorry. So yeah, guys, I try to be as fair as I can. I really do. You know. So I'm trying to say, guys, you know, I try to not, I don't buy into the cancel culture stuff. I just don't think that's positive for anybody. You know, yeah. I appreciate that, Trace. I really do. And I appreciate all you guys. You know, you guys have always had my back. Really. I mean, yeah, I you know, with the Hunter Biden thing, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. What's going on with all that? That's something that you know, that's a rumor we heard. And again, we asked for links, didn't get any kind of like, you know, to be able to say, hey, yes, that's what happened. So I don't know if it is true. It's horrible. I'll say that. Wouldn't never want something like that. I mean, that's crazy. Okay, RJ, we'll do that. Oh, goodness. Alright, guys, well, I'm going to end this. This is, yeah, probably should have killed this a long time ago. People are getting a little, upset. So, I appreciate all you guys. I'll probably be going over to, Mark's channel. I can throw a link in there real quick if you guys want to come check it out. I'm not sure if he's online yet or not. I would imagine he is. And there it is. I'm going to share it. See what we got here, guys. You know, if you guys need to unwind, need to just have some laughs, this is where I go, okay? So if you guys want to come over there, that's cool. Cool. Sounds good, guys. So, yeah, guys. God bless. Yahuwah saves, and